I'm also known as Coach Jumbo. That's because I have a long trunk. I have been a student, a friend, an assistant coach, and an admirer of Bob Fitz for 3 years. I am honored that he asked me to act as his Master of Ceremonies today, and in this celebration of his life at St. Joseph. Now you notice over on the right, we have a slideshow going. It is green because he's Irish, all right? It is not because the cable is bad, it's because he's Irish. We have Mr. Don Klosterman to thank for this, and for the website, and for the program, and for many of the other graphics. Let's give Mr. Klosterman a round of applause. Now, I've had a chance to do this twice before. He looks like the Magic Mountain dancing guy. And we will see more of that as time goes on. Now, I've had to do this twice. Once when he got inducted into the Legends Restaurant Hall of Fame, and that nearly killed his wife, Joan, because it was a secret. She doesn't like secrets. Now, we also had another party, and it was at Leisure World, for his retirement from the CYO. He's still paying for the bills for that one. Now, before we start, I want to acknowledge some more people that were responsible for this event. First and foremost is our principal, Bree Considine. Let's give her a round of applause. She was the driving force behind this event, and the force she is driving is Bridget Poliska. There she is, there's the school secretary. Now, folks my age remember Mrs. Ogletree, and I think that's Mrs. Poliska come back to life here. Is that the nuns and Father Martin thought they ran this school? It wasn't true. It was always Mrs. Ogletree and Mrs. Poliska. Now, she coordinated all the facilities, got all the other people and the lunch and things like that together. And while I got him up front, we want to say thanks to Ron Steiner for doing what he's doing right now. Thank you, Ron, for providing the Catholic lubrication for this event. We already talked about Don Klosterman. I'm going to talk about him again for a minute. This guy knows everybody. He goes everywhere. He does everything. Now, let's embarrass him. He's walking out of the restroom right now. I said he goes everywhere, but not like that. He was the one that got some of our special guests and these events pulled together in graphics, the website, and so on. We'll talk about that some more. There's a link to a new Bob Fitzpatrick dedication site. If you go to the school website, stjosephelementary.com, is that correct? stjosephelementary.com, and on the school information.
In the inside of the program.
In the inside of the program, there's also a link. Let's take a look at those great programs, by the way. If you look on the back, you'll see a lot of the images that you'll see up here on the slideshow as well. And inside the front cover is a biography. But he did a lot of work bringing people together, along with his beautiful wife, Rhonda, in putting these things together. We want to thank them very much. Now, someone not to be missed, of course, is Bob's beautiful wife, Joan. She is the young lady who was mad enough to marry this guy. And she kept all these pictures in excellent condition so that we had them here to share today of 50 years of Bob Fitzpatrick playing games. So we want to thank you, Joan, for letting Bob come out and play. I understand the folks at BJ's are providing the food, and there's a young man named Mark Fremling associated with them. Is that correct? Got that right? Let's say thank you, man. Mr. Fremling is also a student and player for Coach Fitzpatrick. Now, I'd like to welcome our special guests, but I think most of them left, so if you didn't notice earlier out at the field, Mr. Tom Hennessy, the columnist for the Press Telegram, who did a wonderful column of about Bob's life and the Mighty Mites on Friday, was here with his wife Debbie. Jerry Shipsky, the councilwoman for the 5th District for the City Council, was here and handed Bob a city proclamation telling him to get out now. Monsignor Gregory Cox was here. This is Bob's boss when he retired. So he had to leave. I guess there was a bigger church someplace else that he had to go to. So, but he is the executive director of Catholic Charities. Is that correct? Now we do have still here, because he can't drive, Monsignor Sue. He was out and blessed our field. Let's give him a round of applause. When we were kids and got in trouble, we wanted to make sure we got in trouble when Father Martin wasn't here so we could go to Father Sue, because he usually let us off a lot easier. Also joining us today is Mr. Randy Davies and his wife. He is the chairman of the CYO Athletic Advisory Board. Mr. Davies, you raise your hand out there. We'll hear from him later. Also in the audience is another athletic director for Catholic School, St. Edmund's School, Mr. John Russell. His wife. Also gets a hand up. And I'm sure, Mr. Fitzpatrick, since you know everybody, you will introduce some more people when we finally get you up here to talk about them. If I've missed anybody, blame Fitz. So we know that we're here to have a celebration to dedicate the athletic field to Fitz. But why are we doing this? What has he done to get the field dedicated to him? Who is this guy, and what has he done to deserve this honor? All right? Now we know most recently that he was the coach of the undefeated 2006 St. Joseph Mighty Knights CYO Flag Football Championship team. That's a pretty good reason, but the idea to dedicate the field to him was before that. Now most people know here today know that he's been coaching in one capacity or another for St. Joseph since at least 1999, after he retired from CYO. That's a lot of years. That's 8 years. Most coaches don't last more than 5 or 6. He's already been here 8. Well, I'm here to tell you he was here a lot longer ago before that. So we're here to learn the whole story. We can see some of the pictures up here, but we are fortunate to have people here that know the story and will tell us. And we want this story to be known so that future generations know why the field is named Fitz Field. Where's Isaac Foster at? Isaac, raise your hand for me. Put your hand up. Hey, Isaac, 50 years from now, when you and your grandchild are walking on this field, and your grandchild says, Papa, why do they call it Fitz Field? You're going to know why. And so will everybody else here in a minute. He's called All City Fitz. That's what they know him when he was young. You can see in the biography that Bob and St. Joseph go back to 1959, but really his athletic life goes back from the very beginning.